stream, so we're just gonna post some things. I'm gonna start Facebook in a second. And I'm taking a break from going through some things. The CFR 38, which is a veterans disability form, reevaluation form, to go through that whole concert. So if you're a veteran, military, serving now, active in the past, present. Before I get too far forward, let me get it on Facebook. But it's for people like me, it's very time consuming because I go through the doctrine that is the CFR. So I want to check in on people's psyche, their emotional, mental, spiritual, physical states of being. It is very crucial that you maintain heightened awareness. Be super vigilant. Here we are. We're on Facebook. We're going live. And on Facebook nowadays, you have to post specifically, select. They own everything. You own nothing. I love it. And you will love it. Share to your story, your life skills and stuff. So we might get into some videos. I don't know. Maybe not. If there's an echo, let me know that there's an echo. And then we have to go back to OBS and start live Facebook. There we go. And then click on Facebook, go live, to go live on Facebook. So now we should be live on Facebook. And if we want to check on YouTube, you can see the warbirds flying overhead. You can hear them. There it is, life skills and stuff. So we'll mute this because I don't think you want to hear the echo. But you can see real time. That's what it's like. And then we'll go back to what I was watching before. This is a project that I created for Mother's Day. So if you haven't watched it, logged in. It's a very big project. There's a lot of resolution. There's a lot of information in this. So it was a really fun project to make. I started with a rose, went to the hibiscus, and downloaded an IV generating app or a program that somebody created that you can create your own ivy in this. So aloha, welcome to another day of Groundhog's Day where everything is the same, it only looks different. And we're going to cover nothing and everything, life skills. I figure I got to turn this down because my echo in my head from myself is kind of too much, too loud. So, I'm sitting here taking a break from the CFR 38. And I figure what better way to bring in the digital era than just to post what I'm doing right now, which is nothing, right? We're taking breaks, we're drinking coffee, we're enjoying the day, we went for walks, the animals got fed, got some exercise in, talked to some people, smiled at some people, reflected on some things, read some books yesterday, last night. And if you're on Facebook, I implore you that you really control your own emotional being at these points because you're being harvested unknowingly, not just on Facebook, other social sites, but it's very easy to get drawn into it. And I talked to a near dear friend and she said she hasn't posted for like 2+ years, right? And she wants to post because her image on the last photo she posted on Facebook was not depicting of who she is today. So she thought herself fat. She's never been fat. It's all lies that she tells herself. But she wanted to post a photo, right? A new updated photo so that people can see that she looks better than what she thinks she does. And we had a conversation. Isn't that interesting how you haven't posted for 2+ years and that draws at your psyche? And this is only for the intellect, the philosophical, the people that still have a freedom to think outside the box. Because what you're seeing on the mainstream is what they want you to think. It's what they want you to feel right now. Tomorrow will be something different. Right now, you're losing yourself in the system. You may be losing yourself. Your friends may be losing themselves. Your so-called friends from the old world. I call it the old world. Anything before 2019 is the old world in my book. The new world that we walk today is being scripted as we see it. So we'll just let this go. And like I said, I'm taking a break from the CFR. I finally got started on the CFR Veterans Disability Reevaluation thing again. And God works in mysterious ways. So you talk to one person, you talk to another person, you talk to another person, then you do parts of the work, and then for me, I let things slide, right? And I know myself. So if I don't do it at that specific moment and I let it go and let it lag, it gets lost in the shuffle. It gets lost in the mix, and then months later, right? So I called up about this for back in September. So you have a year to do these things in the veterans world realm. You do the reeval. So if any veterans have never done this, have done this, and thank God, this is one good thing about Hawaii, where I love Hawaii, that there's a lot of veterans. If I was back in the mainland, Wisconsin, my hometown, I would have to drive 3 hours just to get to the nearest military base, Fort McCoy, that it is. Hawaii, there's so many bases, so many veterans, Vietnam veterans specifically, especially. I talked to a Korean veteran, a Vietnam veteran yesterday at the commissary, and we talked story for a bit. And it was really nice. While there's a big long line, right, we're all waiting for everything. And we came at the wrong times. So, I befriended him and we started talking. And at the end, he's like, "Thank you for talking." I said, "Thank you for taking the time," because I had the choice to put my stuff down and leave and go someplace else or stay. And I decided to talk and distract myself, right? Because I know myself, and those are my options. I either stay, it's fight or flight, right? Fight, flight, or freeze. That's the abbreviations. That's the acronyms. We either stay or we flee, and a lot of times people are staying in the wrong places, the wrong mindsets nowadays. So we're just gonna let this go until we figure out something to do. I was humming, I was singing before. We'll talk about emotional vibrational frequencies, right? I wrote a book. It's not published. It's just my own personal reflections on study for the last 2+ years, right? That I got this book that I created from scratch, and it's just a bunch of information that I've learned, that I've studied about magnetism, the Great Pyramids, and emotional well-being psychology, the atom, the DNAs, the mRNAs, astrology, numerology, different belief systems, different theories, life, the great trees, and things like that, and all the way back to the pyramids, the Anki, on, if I say that right, the Anki. You can correct me, you political junkies. But it talks about the pineal gland and a lot of secret things that we may be forgetting about and be distracted with. The Ra, the Eye of Ra, and the Tibetan rites, the five rites, and things that we take for granted or we may have forgotten. And I just flicked through the page, and what we're talking about, what we're seeing, is what frequency does love have? What frequency, hertz, delta, what frequency is love, right? What is the heart frequency? If you were able to tap into a frequency, what frequency would you tap into? Because we know AM, FM radios, we know everything has a frequency. Your phone, your cell phone has a frequency. This device right here has a frequency, right? They all operate off of frequency. And if you're in communications, the IT world, software development, program development, you know frequencies. Um, but we also operate off of frequencies. Energy, frequency, vibration. Nikola Tesla used to say, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I like to add to that time and space. That's just mine from what I took from it, from what I've taken from all the readings, thinking in terms of energy, frequency, vibration, time, and space. because I think everything has to do with time. It's not specific time. Right now, we're looking in the past, what happened in the past, and we're being stuck and driven towards the future, right? And people are depicting on what they want to bring out of that past to bring into the future. And what they want to chop up and take away and delete from the past, your past, our past, my past, everyone's past, and forget about who you were into the new and bring you the new you into fruition. So that's kind of what I was going for talking about. So I've just been sitting here contemplating going through the Tim Pool podcast and going through some things on YouTube, and I thought, what better way? And is this thing still going? We'll see. Yep. So we don't need that. We'll just go to YouTube and cut this out. So if you want to stream down, this is what I look at, right? If you want to get some information, you listen to this guy, AMTV. He's a little bit high strung sometimes. He might drink a little bit too much coffee or stuff. Timcast, they talk about some current events generally in the days. I like to look at a lot of different things, and that's why my echo chamber in YouTube is very diverse. If you look at the same things in your echo chambers, it will be the same thing, right? This is a Tibetan language, right? Because my echo chamber is a little bit more broad than most. Wrestling's always been one of my favorite passions. XRP. I like to know information about cryptocurrencies. I don't check out this very much, and this stuff, this guy, we'll listen to him in a bit because I really want to hear what he says on this. This is a new one, 3 hours ago. But I like listening to LFR now. I just got notified of him, and he likes to watch videos from the internet and critique them and analyze them, right? So we'll talk about that. And this stuff I do not even watch. I look at the highlights and see what they want to bring out, right? Many people aren't even talking about this. Maxwell being sentenced to 20 years, sex trafficking. Oh, because we're all focused on something else, right? Dr. Disrespect, if you're in the gaming industry, he's pretty freaking on it. He knows a lot about the developments and games. CWA, if you're into wrestling. Like I said, this is what I do on my free time. This is the old original stuff from back in the day. I like to live in the past, in the 1800s, and realize where we're headed. And this is where wrestling kind of started from. All the big, huge marvels of yesterday and today kind of created from this. And it's amazing how it started way back when. So this is what I do on a daily basis. I found out Blair White. I found out about her from Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. So she's a great person to listen to. Tom McDonald, I was introduced to him. He's a great artist, rap artist, and he's very, very open about his music, and it's great to hear him, talk. So, like I said, I was just tuning in. The last thing I was watching was Timcast IRL. So they're talking about lots of different things. They're always live, and you can tune into them rather than getting stuck in the echo chambers of your own mind, your own thinking. You can get outside the box and think outside the box. So, as we got other things going on. I got to turn that on. So, like I said, I'm not here to preach anything. I'm not here to talk. I'm just, what better way? Because on Twitch, if you go to Twitch, if you go to other sites, all they do is post something. They're live streaming. They're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're getting endorsements. They're getting this and that for live streaming, playing a game or not playing a game. Because some of them are hacked where they don't really play the game. They just pretend, right? And they're getting subscribers and they're getting all these endorsements and things. So I'll show you what I'm working on right now. Let's see if I can find it. So this is what I'm working on right now. Let's see if it works. I gotta strengthen that. Like I said, I used to be in that realm where everything's got to be perfect, right? I got to get on, I troubleshoot this stuff, and I troubleshoot this stuff. I spend 3 hours, 4 hours troubleshooting this so that it's perfectly perfect, right? So that there's no errors and no bugs. And the reality is, it doesn't matter. Right. People nowadays, they want raw footage. They want real time. They want what's going on. They want to live in your echo chamber. You want to live in their echo chamber. There's this person on Twitch who all she does is stream herself sleeping. And she's get thousands, 50,000 people watching her. And all she's doing is sleeping because people are bored, right? And then that goes into my frequency, emotional frequency. And we'll talk about some numbers. And this is something that I looked at, was looking at too, right? And you can kind of see this too. So if our DNA is like an antenna, they have three different kind of focus points, and this is kind of what they did with the ice experiment. You put water in a freezer, you talk good to it, you have good music to it, it forms a specific crystalline feature. If you have dark music, negative thoughts, negative talk, negative frequencies, it has a more of a unharmonious type thing. I know a lot of snowflakes will blow by this, they don't care because it's too, they don't care, they just want to be emotionally attached because they're addicted. It's an addiction to an addiction. Your emotions are now your worst enemy. Your feelings are now your worst enemy because you are addicted to that feeling, and it's an endorphin that does not serve you. It's serving the system, the establishment. So the DNA, like antennas, there's crystalline, polycrystalline, and amorphous. So what we were possibly back in the 2019, since there was no wars, in my view, in my look, when I look at 2019, before that, there was no wars going on, nothing. It was the longest time of peace for a number of, no deaths in Afghanistan, things like that. We were probably moving in, we were in a crystalline type form. So why do I do this on Facebook? Facebook needs education. People on Facebook need education. So I'm going to break through the barrier on Facebook until I'm banned again or taken off again because their new updates just came out for Meta. It's no longer Facebook, it's the Meta. So they go into effect July 6th, I believe. And if you're on Facebook, you don't have a choice, you opt in. Right. So even if you don't read the policy or the privacy policies and you don't agree with them, hey, guess what? You're in. So that's like the government of what we saw in the last few days, right? In this world, you don't have a choice. In one world, you have a choice. You go to a system, you go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has judges on the panel, and they decide what's constitutional and what's not. But in the other world, such as maybe Meta, you're bought in whether you agree with it or not. These are the privacy terms and conditions. If you don't agree with them, you're still in them. So we'll change my face. See if let's change my face to a monkey. What do you want to be? Right? We can be a jackass. We can be a blues brother. We can be a monkey. You name it. We can have a cat. So in today's filterless world, if you don't like something, if it's emotionally taxing you, if you don't like my face, hey, just filter me, right? And pretty soon we won't have a face to look at. Our self-image of self is turning down. So we were back in the DNA like antenna, and today's day we're looking more like amorphous, scattered, no periodic arrangement, and the positives and the negatives are all scattered, right? And that's the way I look at a lot of things. So I'm not here to preach a lot. I'm just here to show you my world in a second or two, in a glimpse, right? What I'm doing, I'm taking a break from life. I'm not selling anything. The only thing I'm selling possibly is your sanity, your emotional sanity, your physical sanity, your spiritual sanity, mental sanity, mental clarity. And if you need to take a break, take a break. If you're getting so caught in, I posted on my story because these people are crazy and they don't even know that they're crazy. These people are in the old world, of friends of mine that I knew from the old world, and they're crazy, right? These ideas get implanted into your head. And hey, if you want to go to war, let's go to war. I've been to war a number of times. I'm not scared of war. I'm not scared of blood and guts. Let's go to war if you want to go to war. Just remember the carnage that it brings, right? It's not all unicorns and bells and roses. So these people are flicking people off on their social media profiles, and that's what it gives them right to do. All these talking parrots, right? They're just echo chambers for the same talking parrots. I don't hate you. I don't hate them because I know they're just being played like a puppet, like a fiddle from those other people in power. And that's the same thing that we've seen throughout history, right? When I went to, again, when I went to Hawaii, when I went to the state capitol back in the day, 2019 and beyond, and we went there for every Friday to tell the government, the state government, that they were overreaching, overstepping their boundaries. They could not lock people down. They could not tell people not to gather. They could not tell people what and what not to do, not to go to work, not to get paid, not to put food on the table. There were only 10 to 20 people there. Most of them weren't local. Most of them were uh, apparently caring citizens, and we would have to get legal paperwork doctrine just to go there and peacefully protest and carry things like American flags and signs. And you know, there's a few people that got arrested because they wanted to make a political statement. The media and the press always want to make a political statement. They don't have your best interest at heart. They never have. And that's the scary thing, is that people really think that these people care about you. So right now I'm doing the gala games for the day, and down here you can see I turned it off. I had to reset the computer for a bit. And this script, I did not make the script. Lycan Warlord and his crew, they made the script. So if you're into the gala games, if you don't know anything about scripting, coding, you're way behind the times, right? If you don't know anybody that knows about coding, hey, I used to have to do this all by myself, and now I don't have to worry about it. I just turn these things on, let them figure it out, and this is version like 40, so they've beta tested this for a number of days. You don't have to figure every single thing out on your own. That's the great thing about this. We can enjoy this luxury that we have in front of us, called a game, and not have to click every second on every little piece. So all I'm doing today is collecting my rewards. So I get 5,000 stars. There's 8 days left. This is not a sales pitch at all. It's just showing you into my realm what I do. And you see how easy it is now? Where I can leave this play in the background, right? I can minimize this, keep it on screen, and we can go to something else. And we can see if I can add in a little education. This is all stuff that I've learned and watched YouTube videos on how to create. So anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. YouTube. All right. And then watch this. Check this out. How cool is this, huh? How are you spending your days? Are you learning a thing? Learning how to use technology? Or is it using you, right? We can make this as small. So this is an OBS system, right? This is the OBS system program. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger right now because don't remind me. And you can zoom this stuff in if you want. The only thing I want to worry about right now is that. Once that is full, I'm done for the day. And then we can critique this out, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of people don't know how to use the technology that they have in their hands. So as we're going through this, I am kind of showing how I learn things, right? So this you can have play in the background, and you can have multiple things, right? I can have my raid on that I play, and we'll see if we can get that going while I'm taking a mental break from it all. And then we'll go to my library, and this might sound in a second. And then if it works, let me know. And then you create another window, add another window, window capture, and raid. Booyah, boom. Check that out. Now we have 3 windows. Isn't that cool? All running simultaneous. As people are distracted and deceived by the greatest trickster in the world right now, um, what are you doing for your own well-being? Right? What are you doing for your own self? Because I can share this information all day long, but how many people are going to listen and take it in and actually apply it? And that's what we're seeing. People don't want to anymore. So you can do 2 things, 3 things, all from the comfort of your own home. I'm a Smurf right now. So this one I think still has music on. Boom. We're going to turn it off. We're going to zoom it in, and we're going to turn it off. Let's see. Where's the music? Boo, boo, boo. Nope, I turned it off and it stays off. So unlike the Gala games, this one actually stays off when you turn it off. You don't have to do it every single day. Right? So we can have that playing. And let's see. Apparently something went bad with it. Haywire. Apply. Okay. Something is not right. There's a lot of power in humming. Did you know? I'm going to see to get this work. Do that. We'll go back. Apply. Alright, we might have to shut it back down and restart it. And that's the greatest thing that we can do. Play. Some people say get a job, get a real job, stop playing around. But this is the future, brothers and sisters. If you don't know that, the real jobs are gone. All that's left is the computer world, digital world. Alright, for some reason it's still not playing. Come on. What's wrong with you? Raid, Gala Games, Facebook. What the heck? I cannot get it to show up right. Why not? Alright. Huh, that's so interesting. I think it's because I go from one screen and I drag it onto the other screen. And when it does that, it gets lost in. Come on now, play. Alright, we'll change it again. Go back. Why won't you play? Okay, I'm still streaming. Still on Facebook, apparently. Alright, we're going to delete this one. And that's what you do. You just delete it, and then you go add another one. And we'll just put it down here on this page. Just be safe. So until I get another idea, this is what I'm doing. What is wrong with you? Alright, close it down again. Okay. And now, what is wrong with you? So this is much better than getting wrapped up in the frickin' BS, isn't it? Alright, now it's playing Plarium. Will it load raid? It worked for a second, and now it's not going to. Wow, it's not going to, is it? Huh, interesting. That's so interesting. So interesting. Well, that's what I'm playing anyways. The raid. Plarium is the company. Not what I'm playing, but. And on the Gala games, I only have a little bit left to sell, and I don't have to sell much. But the one thing I have to do is put that oak barrels to sell, so Oh, maybe I don't have gas. I gotta make some more gas. Let's go make some gas. Yep. Craft. Stop. Craft. Make gas. And that's one thing you have to check on this. I have too much petroleum, not enough fuel. Interesting how gas works, huh? If you shut off the pipeline, it raises the cost of gasoline. Huh. We shut off a couple of them. Germany shut off some. Huh. Now they're begging and pleading with Russia, who have to go through India to get the gas. Did you know you're buying the same gas? Isn't that interesting? But India gets to be the middleman now, the middleman woman, and get to have the say on it. Let's go to life skills. So people are I unfollowed a couple more people on Facebook because you're all going into a box. You think it's about rights. No, it's about taking your rights. All of this is smoke and mirrors. In the end, you won't be able to talk about anything, feel anything, or see anything because it is all political. It is all too much for you. Sensory overload. I call it sensory overload, right? We have emotions, we have feelings, and we have a limit to what we can take in. And I always say that this technology has been around to the human public for only a short time, and how fast it has grown. And you're not ready for it. We're not ready for it. We're not prepared for it at this level, because everything all at once. There's a movie that came out. Everything all at once. It kind of shows us where we're headed to. We're going to watch one of those videos that I wanted to watch. Hey, the best of Hulk Hogan. There you go. Ric Flair's last match, I think, was Sunday. He had his farewell. It's either Sunday or coming up. Ric Flair in Tennessee. They sold tickets. A whole bunch of people are going to be there. If you're into Ric Flair, he's like 76 years old, apparently. Everyone's concerned about him. I'm not, because he's a nature boy. Does what he does. Where did that one video go? There we go. So I'm going to try not to talk, and we're going to listen to this guy. I really like listening to this guy. He's called the LFR family, right? So we're going to listen to him, and Black Lady confronts white liberals on their hypocrisy. I just love it when he does this, when he watches people and he goes through it and he talks like a rational human being. So let's see. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Oh man. Oh, I see. You got too many things going on. This is what happens. You don't know what's going on. I did change it. It's up there. Oh. All right, so there's some technical difficulties. Why does it keep on going on mute? It won't go off of mute.
Eating right. Yes, in the ghetto they don't have vegetables. I just
At home. Why don't you start? I'm not carrying anything saying Black Lives Matter. I know I matter.
what these white liberals done did now. Got another black person just letting y'all know, look, God dang it, back up. You don't speak for me. All right, let's see what happens. What they say now? They don't know how to find the they don't know how to find a voting booth. What? They don't know how to find the DMV. They don't know how to find a grocery store. They don't know where the produce section is. That's why they're not eating right. They don't know where the vegetables are. That's why they're not eating right. Yes, in the ghetto, they don't have vegetables. I just now seen a video like that the other day, man, and it was absolutely hilarious. It was from Waters, from Fox News. All right, so this is another black lady who is confronting white liberals on their hypocrisy, and they might be talking about the attack that the pro-abortionists have been doing with the violence and everything that's going on. But then when they turn around and say, hey, y'all was too violent on January 6th, man. You're not supposed to be violent. You're supposed to be calm. Oh, wow. Okay, let's get to it.
My point was that black kids in Chicago get killed every single day. Where is the Black Lives Matter in Chicago? Where are they? When black people...
That is true. That is true. Where are they? Where are they? Huh? I'm not going to do a whole bunch of talking. I just want to know, where are they? Because, I mean, they only pull up unless, okay, who just now got shot? Okay, how old were they? Were they under 5? They was under 5. We got the budget to go out there. All right, we think we can get some people together so we'll go march right quick for them. Oh, you got something to do? You going to Vegas? Huh? All right, we'll come out. All right, let's just write them a good letter or something like that. Huh? Put them on the internet, you know, a couple of hashtags. What's her name? And then put her name on a hashtag. And that be all they do. That's it. They get a hashtag and a t-shirt. That's it. That's all they get.
Where is the Black Lives Matter in Chicago? Where are they? When black people kill black people, they don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racist. They are the racist.
Hey, she is firing them up.
When a white person touches them, they're the racist.
You are the racist.
They are the racist.
You are the
because
racist.
white cops, it's wrong for a white cop to kill a black person, that's for sure. But if it matters, it should matter at all times.
So what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause
message
drama.
will be stop violence. It's not about blacks.
In a unicorn world. That's not a
That's the
unicorn
violence,
world.
period.
Okay, since you're so...
You guys think blacks are oppressed. I am black, I'm not oppressed. I am free.
Ha! Ding, 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 ding. And she has won, ladies and gentlemen. She has won.
That's an old video. I saw that, I think, a year ago, over a year ago. That's when, 2 years ago maybe. That was like when this whole charade first started. When BLM first started coming out of the woodworks at the college campuses. This woman was on fire, and they told her to beat rocks. They tried to anyways. So, yeah, people like that. So what frequency are we operating at, huh? Where are we operating at? As I'm waiting for... Hey, if you got comments, questions, you want to tune in, say anything. Like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, please. It's the only thing I ask for. It's not like money. Gosh. Just a like, click of a button. Where's the frequency at? Here we go. So, something to put in the food bucket for all the people, none of the people, for the agencies, who's ever streaming in, because I know this goes to a lot of different cells, right? Around the world, outside the world, inside the world, you name it. It goes anywhere, everywhere I want it to go, that they want it to go. So, your emotions, what I'm looking at is this page right here, right? I'm going to be looking at my emotional frequency, your emotional frequency. What is that? So at the beginning of the pandemic, the lockdowns, what did they say? Stay home, lock down, don't go up. What does that create? Boredom. Neutrality. That's number 8 on the list of 22 emotions, frequencies. So that is about 250-ish hertz on a frequency level. That is about 250 hertz. I got a ding from something, somewhere. I don't know if that's on YouTube or not, but I'm live streaming, so feel free to chime in, comment. I'll try to get back to them if I can. So before that, though, you're at hopefulness, you're at optimism. That's 400 hertz in the frequency department on emotions. You may be at joy, appreciation, freedom, 5 to 100 to 1,000 frequencies. This is something, so I talked to, so the interesting thing is I talked to somebody that works in the mental health division or mental health field, right? And I study the mind, the psychology, and I study these things outside the books. And she said, I never heard of that. She works at the mental health hospitals and institutions, and she's been doing that for a little bit. She just moved here, PCS'd with her husband, and all that lingo. And she had never heard of these, what frequencies were. Uh, They just know depression, they just know the key words. They don't actually know the frequencies that they are operating at those times. So if you're operating at boredom, that's pretty much what you're operating at. 250 hertz, right? Your vibrational frequency is about that. So doubt, worry, that's 175 plus or minus. And this stuff has been since the 1900s. We knew about this stuff a long time ago. It's all over. If you just have to delve and look for it. And that's what I do. So worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge. We're looking at revenge now. That's what we saw in the last few days, right? Those people are operating at 110 hertz. 110 hertz. They say that you can move up a ladder easier than you can move down a ladder, right? It's hard to move back up. It's easy to fall back down. It's easy to stay at the bottom, in the crabs in the bucket. It's easy to stay in the crabs in the bucket. It's so easy to stay in there. That is the lowest of the low. And right now, people are operating at hatred, rage, jealousy, insecurities, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, desperation, despair, powerlessness. As we move down and down and lower in frequency, we go into zero. And if you're in the medical institutions, you get hooked up to EKG or heart rhythm, has a specific frequency. They call it flatlining when there's no longer a notable pulse. That's not meaning that there's no pulse, it's just not recorded enough, so they have a zero pulse, zero heart rate rhythm. So as we move down, we call that flatlining, and I call it flatlining in the medical emotional spectrum. You're almost at a state of decay, right? Rigor mortis. Shame, death, complete zero. There is no growth. The flower will not bloom. The lotus flower will not bloom. But the lotus flower needs that muck. It needs that that shit, the cow shit, and all that dirtiness to grow the lotus flower. So maybe you're gonna grow something. But I'm so keyed in on that because I did this 2-3 years ago, and it's been a work in progress. And it's got so much information in it. It's turned into like a Bible for me, my Bible type thing. So always look at where you are and refer back to those types of things. If you're operating at a 200 hertz, why am I operating at a 200 hertz? If I'm operating at a 10%, 20%, 100%, and I've tested them all, I've been through them all willingly, unwillingly, for some, and that's kind of how we are. I really wish this raid would work. I do not understand why it doesn't work. There's got to be a glitch. I think I know what it is. One of these key buttons. Oh, a match title, raid. Okay. No, that didn't fix it. Darn it. Windows title must match. Capture method, defaults. I had this happen before, and what did I do? Oh, automatic. Windows. There we go. Now we got you. You change it to double click on it, capture method, Windows 10, and 1903 and up. Okay, so it's got to be Windows 10. Gotcha. Now you can see what this game is all about. So I don't get paid for this. Gala, I get paid to play. You make earnings if you have NFTs. It's the new system. This raid, people still play it. And as you can see, I can collect 11 town point. It used to be coin. They transferred it all to points. And that's pretty much it for that. So I can leave that running. I can build up some fuel, but I'm pretty much done with that for the day. And this wood, yeah, we can. When I go live, I tend to get distracted by a lot of squirrels and butterflies and stuff. But you can also go back to my website, check out some things, videos, let them play. Let's see, metaverse. So if you want to learn about the metaverse and virtual reality, augmented reality, things like that, AI, check out this. Check this out. You might like it. If you go down, scroll all the way down on any page, you click on this little icon, right? And you can start a new conversation and beta test. His name is Joe. You can beta test the conversation. You can have a conversation with the AI that I helped. That is Google, is through the Google network and through the Google algorithms, the coding and stuff like that. And you can ask it questions. You can talk to it. Start a new conversation with Joe. Hi. I'm not doing a single thing, right? He's supposed to reply back to me. I don't know if he's going to for some reason. Might be bugged out. Type your message. Did it already reply back? It says I'm offline, so I don't know. Huh, interesting. Maybe it's because these are past ones. Okay. This is what it's supposed to do. So I'm online. For some reason, it had me offline. So let's refresh that. But you kind of get the gist, right? You go to it. It should work for you. Go to any page, scroll down. And that's one of the new features you're going to see on a lot of the websites. You already have seen them probably. Generally, that's all AI driven. Start new conversation. Offline. Why is it offline? Interesting. So I did a lot of beta testing on it. It works, but for some reason, maybe not the Brave. You might have to use a different search engine than Brave. So this is kind of a cool kind of way to just take off, de-stress, and go about your day. Take breaks. People get paid for this, you know. All they do is stream their lives. What they do. So this is something I learned. I got into from playing on GamerHash, and it's on my website. If you go to GamerHash, you can find the referrals. You can log in. So I got paid to beta test this game in GamerHash coin. So I got enough rubies. I can unlock another one. Select a champion. Upgrade the champions. This one. All right. And you love the advertisements. They're always advertising. They want you to spend your money. I heard Delta was issuing $10,000 for a later flight or something to customers. Crazy, huh? They're just giving away the US dollar like it's going out. Go check in. Again, it's not that I'm bored and I want to live stream my life. I'm a very private person. Unfortunately, what I see going on and happening, I cannot be private as much as I want to be, no matter how much it pains me, because even the knowledgeable, smart people are stupid. They say that when you're no longer able to take in anything and your own echo chamber becomes your reality, they say some things like, we are lost. These people have been in the military, have done special ops, have been in the government, serving, past, present, and future. They have families, they have kids, and you log onto their profile and you see the big middle finger. How civilized are we? How civilized? It's neurosis. We are turning into neurotic, selfless, selfish state of mind and being with no morals, no ethics. And they don't see yet, these people live in the West, and they don't see yet that they are the target. What is all this beeping? Is that my Twitch or what? They don't understand that they are the target. Everyone hates the West. Anybody in the West that's an American, they hate them. They hate you. You are the target. So, but they can't fathom that they are the bad person. They think that they're on the good side. They think they're good people. But the media is so cunning, baffling, and powerful. It's so subjective that it is spinning this fine thread, and depicting and throwing in little things, little nuggets here, right? That the people that are down here at a 200, 100 frequency, they all become part of the crazy mob, right? Gnawing and gnashing of teeth. While the people up here that are puppet masters, playing the fiddles, and they dance to the marionette, to the symphony of the destruction. Oh my God, oh my Lord. We have fallen from grace is what we've fallen from. I'm not just saying the West. Many people have fallen from grace. I was talking to a friend today. They have life on Mars, bacteria form. Precious, my precious, life sacred. Kill baby on the second foot. Take the guns away. Take the guns away. You don't need them. They kill. Murder. Death. Flying Apaches overhead in Hawaii. 3 times runs. Circular formation death birds that can kill you 1,000 times over in less than a minute. Take your guns. Keep those up. Oh, shoots, man. I tell you what. We used to fly with some of them downrange. I used to be on a part of those missions, all right? A 5.56 won't even touch an Apache. I'm telling you. I had to talk to a friend, a neighbor on this. Oh, yeah, there's no reason to have a machine gun. You know, in Canada, they're already taking your 9mm. You don't have anything. You're going to be throwing sticks and stones at people. What do? Every government regime, every single one, before they come in for you, they take your protection, your security away. Everything. And then they come for you. You go to the gulag. You think I'm making this stuff up. Most people can't have a heart because they're all stuck in a box already. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm just going to work. I'm just doing my job. That's what we've seen over and over and over throughout history. We just do our jobs. Serve the masters of puppets. Bum 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 bum. They say that each one of us has the power to change history, to really change and have a dramatic effect, impact. The problem is that though the masters of puppets know this, they control you and play you like a fiddle so that you change it to what they want. They're just playing the game. BLM, all right, let's support BLM. LGBTQ, let's support LGBTQ. All right, we got our political freaking nexus. We're gonna get on the side of the people. That's what they want. That's what we want. Yes, sir. Everything will support this agenda while we move towards our own agenda. We don't want guns in the hands of citizens, civilians. We don't want pro-life. We don't want choices. Just give all your rights over to us. All of them. Bum, bum, bum. You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's one thing I want to look at. I was going to look at that too. I opened it up before I found the Karl Marx books. Communist Manifesto. See if I can find it again. Oh my gosh. Karl Marx. There. Boom. I was just looking at that. I want to find that key phrase, if it's in this book or not. Oh, where did I find it? PDF. I know 99% of the people will never even look at the literature because they're so emotionally attached, right? It almost makes you dumb because you're operating from a reptilian brain, the old brain. And it's amazing. I still get dumbfounded by this, how the dumbest person in my class growing up sat in the back, didn't study, couldn't learn, how I'm more educated and more aware of the psyop, the psychology, the mindset than 90% of the human population. Does that make me better? No. The only thing it makes me is sick because I am sick of having to know everything that you guys are just witnessing on a daily basis. I am sick to know the history. I am sick to know the results of our actions or inactions. I am sick and tired of seeing us play into the puppets. Always play into the puppets. We think we're doing better. I tell my folks that too. I tell everybody this. I say, we think that we're getting what we want. How much surveillance is being surveilled right now? We are playing right into the fiddle. We can be distracted for weeks and weeks on the frickin' in the mainstream media while everything plays out. Live stream, inflation, the cost of fuel, the price of gas, but we won't give two rats about that because, you know, the lack of food on the table, the lack of food, the lack of this, the lack of supplies, the lack of this. But we won't give two craps about it because the media says don't care about this. Don't talk about this. Is this it? Let's see. Oh, right. This is a better version than I saw. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Look at that. This is 1888, right? God, I love these old. If I could smell that book, I would smell it. I love these old books. Man, I wish I could have got that from the library back in the day. So I don't know if I'll be able to search this one, but I'm going to save it for sure. God, that's such a great book. Wow. I actually want the PDF version though. Frick. Now I find this. I wasn't looking for it, but PDF. That's supposed to be the PDF. Is this it? That might be it. Full text? Oh, shoot. Maybe I can. We'll just go, yeah. we'll see if there's no bugs on that. Bum, 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 bum. Let me see, where did that go? Desktop, where on the desktop? Is that it? No. I don't see it. Uh-oh. It did not download. There it is. I found it. Where'd it go? Where is it? F2009. There it is. I really don't see it. It's weird where it doesn't show up on there. Oh, there it is. I see it. Alright. So you download it and then you open it and it still opens up on a, let's see, is this it? Through the internet. The Web 3. This looks like it. Changing Fortunes. The Manifesto is a historic doctrine. No, that doesn't look like it. No, this is a frick. That's not the book. Somebody wrote a synopsis of it. I had found it before. This might be the one. Yep, this is the one. Let's see. Alright, so. And what I'm going to do is just shut off the Townstar because I don't need it no more. And we'll keep this one playing. So what I want to find, Control F, is own nothing. Nope. I just want to see if that's in there. They have nothing of their own to secure and to fortify. Their mission is to destroy all previous securities for and insurances of individual property. All the preceding classes that got the upper hand sought to fortify their already acquired status by subjecting society at large to their conditions of appropriation. The proliferations, it's hard to see that, the sun just went down, cannot become masters of the productive forces of society except by abolishing their own previous mode of appropriation, thereby also every other previous mode of appropriation. So I was looking to see if there's own nothing and be happy. So be happy. Happy, happy. Own. Alright. Knowing down. It has drowned. In one word, it creates a world after its own image. A similar movement is going on before our own eyes. And I'm not making fun of people when I say you cannot read anymore. Because if that doesn't fall into you, thank God. Because it is a perishable skill. The knowledge, articulation, the education reading comprehension. It is a failing system where everything is going through an auditory, audible AI script because we cannot fathom it anymore because we've been dumbed down to a lower level frequency, emotional state of being where we can't even, and that's what anger, rage, those emotions, it makes it so neurotic where you can't even focus on one single thing because everything is coming all at once. They desert their own standpoint to place themselves at that of the proletariat. Defend not their present. The dangerous class, the social scum, that passively rotting mass, thrown off by the lowest layers of old society, may here and there be swept into the movement by a proletarian revolution. Its conditions of life, however, prepare it far more for the part of bribed tool, of reactionary intrigue. They have nothing of their own to secure and to fortify. Their mission is to destroy all previous securities for and insurances of individual property, except they abolishing their own previous mode of appropriation and thereby also every other previous mode. Huh. So I'm sure it says that somewhere else, maybe in another book that he wrote. They do not set up any sectarian principles of their own by which to shape and mold the proletarian movement. All right, so I see that over and over. Bum 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 bum. Talks about the monks. Overthrown was being overthrown. These attempts. Love it. The undeveloped state of the class struggle, as well as their own surroundings, causes socialists of this kind to consider themselves far superior to all class. I am so superior to you. You do not understand. You can't possibly fathom. Like that woman that was obviously black and from probably Africa or somewhere, trying to talk to these stupid white female freaking college retards that had no level of understanding. I talked to a near dear friend, and I was so grateful that her son is in the military and experiencing the world, first hand experience, not third, fourth hand from a digital soapbox. I'm so proud of him because he gets to actually see the real. It's not fake. It's not BS. And he might have heard this one. Working men of all countries unite! Anyways, I didn't see it in there. It's probably in another form. Another form. But if you haven't read that, that's from 1888, I believe. Definitely a book. Because a lot of people, in one of my realms that I used to partake in, the self-development world, personal, professional development was, and some of them are good people. However, I take because a lot of people like church, Christians, religious fanaticals, they will go to church on Sunday and they will go to these seminars and they will preach the gospels according to whatever is written. And then on Mondays and Saturdays, they will do all this other stuff. And that's why Satanism, Luciferian came about. Because the son, one of the founders of Luciferian, Church of Satan, saw this day in and day out, and I can attest I saw the same kind of things. Bigotry. I'll dress up and do all this stuff and talk all this stuff, and while I'll flick you the bird on Facebook and social media, wish for your death behind you, stab you in the back, but I'll give you a straight face while you're in my presence. I'll talk nice to you and look. Oh my gosh. It's so. History repeats and echoes and rhymes. And if ever you question what the founders did, or what Germany did, or what the Nazis did, what the communist USSR did, the Mayans did, you can now look and say this is why it happened. Look at yourselves and look at everybody else and look at yourselves and look at everybody else and look at yourself. This is how it all happens. It all happens slowly over time. The frogs in a pot. So I do this quest things, and I do the daily win 7 campaigns. I got to do that. I got to upgrade the tavern. Like I said, I'm taking a break from a lot of that CFR 38. I went through the first part of it, and everything is theater. Even in this, it's all doctrine verbiages. So the reason we have to go through this over and over again is because you didn't say the right verbiage, the right words, and then you go into this CFR 38 and you get the right verbs, the right words for them so that they can document just the way it's supposed to be. And this has taken me years and years, right? I got out in 2015, 2016, officially retired 2018, I believe, and finally, after enough people have told me to do this enough times, I am finally getting my foot out of my fourth point of contact and moving the ball a little bit more. And I can tell you, I understand the veterans from Vietnam. I understand why it's so difficult, because if you don't know, thank God for the internet, we can look at this information still today, and we can download it, and I can save it. Now, I can save it on my iPad. I can go through and download every freaking file that they have, and I can highlight it, and I can make notes. Because don't you know, memory is one of those things that we have to deal with a lot of times, so. TBIs, PTSDs. And then when we go into these places of institutions and you're supposed to have everything memorized and you have to tell the doctors and you got all this pressure and anxiety and then you don't have the paperwork and you look like a fool, there's a possible solution, right? And then you get told, oh, you're supposed to have an advocate. You're supposed to have, why don't you have an advocate? I'll be your advocate, all these things. Well, you still have to do the work, right? You still have to talk to people. Still have to know the know, and that type of thing. So that's where we are today with that. So if you need help, if you know a veteran, he knows people that are getting out, in the process of getting out, documentation. It's so crucial. Staying in the system, getting in the system, understanding the system. So I'm going to level up. I think I bought some things so I can level up with this. Level her up again. Alright. Boom. Upgrade skills, alright. And maybe I can upgrade skills. Nope. Ooh, alright. Upgrade skills. Level 2. I would rather post myself on Facebook and have nobody watching, maybe one person tuning in, than go in silence and just allow the the people on Meta just to live in their echo chambers. It's a scary thing. You know, CNN doesn't want a lot of viewers anymore. The more and more I think about the echo chambers, the scarier it is because all you're going to get is the same sounding booth. Oh my gosh, it's scary. It's a radicalized idea. So you got to listen to people like Dr. Peterson. To keep you centered and keep you into the thinking state before we dissolve into a completely lawless society. All right, so what did I do? I leveled her up, and now I gotta level up the champions. Are these things? Can I do that? Oh, I can. Ah, cannot. All right, upgrade, upgrade. Ba da doo doo. Da doo doo. I get to listen to the birds every single day. They wake me up. Oh my God, the parrots are beautiful. They're singing on both sides, every side. So I get burnt out pretty quick from a lot of things. I obsess on things. I work. I don't sleep when I work on them. When I have projects and things. When I learn things, I'm all in, right? So learning the piecework, learning to take yourself out of the system is very crucial. Going for walks. When I study like there's no tomorrow because I love the information I get. If you've never felt that just drive, just to want to know, want to learn, whew, it's an amazing feeling. If you've never had a dream or ever had a dream where you had this vision of something just amazingly unexplainable, now we get to go battle. So we set everything up, we're going to go battle. So the arena, you got to do this 5 times to level up. Of course, I have to 4,000. We'll see if I can do this one. And all this stuff is automatic too, so I can just set it. I'm almost to the point where I can set it and just forget it. Isn't that cool? You can just set it and forget it. And I can work on something else. I can do another project. Isn't that cool? So this is what I'd be doing. I'd probably get this done 10 times faster without the live stream. However, it is what it is. But I have to do that like 5 times, and I have to do the campaign, then I have to do something else, and done. Finito. Do 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 do. 1 hour ago, so I've been on Facebook for an hour. So I just like the fact that there's nobody kicking me off yet. You can create polls, you can create a lot of things. But the one thing they're missing is humor. Humor. People are forgetting to laugh. You gotta laugh at yourselves, people. You gotta laugh at yourselves. You gotta be okay with yourselves. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. Politicians don't admit that they're wrong ever. They'll never say they're wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm right. Oh, I got defeated, but that's okay. I don't care. We get defeated. You lose once, but you don't lose the war, right? Keep on going. Just got to do it 5 times. Doesn't say you have to win, it just says you have to do it 5 times. Anything from the clan? Nope. I gotta read The Art of War. Book 7. Do 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 do. There goes the warbirds. Take away your guns. You don't need them. Trust the warbirds. They will serve and protect. They will never miss a shot. They won't hit an innocent home ever. Take out a soft target. That could be your home. Never, ever, ever, ever would that happen. Never, ever did we see. Nah. Cold coffee is always good. Book 7, Manipulation of Circumstance. I like this book, The War, Art of War. There we go. There we go. Art of War. The warlord with vision understands the ruler's desires for the future. He maintains the army in accordance with the knowledge that he will in time be called upon to protect the empire. When the ruler desires expansion, because of this, the army is always kept in harmony with the heavens. The generals maintain the organization of it through the chain of command, because they are told of the ruler's desires by the warlord. Even so, it is difficult to maintain control regardless of how organized things may appear to be. Things will seem difficult when simple, and simple when difficult. The intelligent understand this and maintain control through oh my God, right there's the key. The intelligent understand this and maintain control through manipulation. I got to read that again. Things will seem difficult when simple. And back before 2019, things were difficult. We made things difficult because life was simple. Life was easy, right? It was normal. And simple when difficult. Is it still simple or is it difficult now? And simple when difficult. God, the intelligent understand this. The intelligent. And maintain control through that manipulation. The government maintains control. The warlords. Beautiful part. Beautiful. Oh. I was talking about the self-development thing. A lot of people will read those books. I got those books too. Think and Grow Rich and Succeed and Grow Rich Through Persuasion. Oh, yes. And that's all the things I use in the Communist Manifesto too. And Think and Grow Rich, To Think is to Create. And all these good books, right? But for me, what really gets me going is things like the Bible and The Art of War. When people ask, hey, what good book should I read? And people are all like, oh, you should read this. You know, grow the F up and who the F cares and do what you want to do. And no, I don't want to read that crap. I want to read something with real meat to it, like real, that gravitates, like the Book of Enoch or The Art of War or the, what's that book I got? Gosh, I'll think about it in a second. It's old technology. It's old information. All this other stuff too, Think and Grow Rich, is old technology too. It's old information. It's all ringing true. But what it does is it puts you into a box where all you think about is, all I got to do is this one little thing for this one little thing. And all these other areas are taboo, right? We won't think about war. We would just think about Think and Grow Rich. To to think is to create, and but we won't look at war. We'll look at the opposite of it. We'll just ignore it. Um, and a lot of good things came about during those times, the Great Depression. We won't study history. We'll just read the books that talk lightly about history. You know, I won't put myself in, I won't empathize or sympathize. And there's a lot, we are like, for me, I consider myself one of the last thinkers, one of the last philosophers, creators, developers, free minds of our times. Not just me, other people too. But I think we are a dying breed that have been slowly, Newton and the apple, and thinking, philosophizing, contemplating, watching. What am I doing? Let's see. Going into attention. So we got to refresh. We'll go back. We'll just do a battle. Classic arena. We did that. And this is the one I usually do. I only got to do this about 5 times. Multi-battle 5. Boom. Bop, 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 bop. So you tell me if this is worth time or not. Because I'll tell you this is worth more time than it is to go loot and ruin and destroy property. To me, this is worth more time than that. Serving a purpose that I don't frickin' serve. And I tell you all the sheep out there, if you're gonna do that, at least get paid by your government for doing those types of things, because there's thousands of people getting paid to do those types of things. Storming the Capitol, rioting, they get paid for that. So at least do yourself a favor and get on the payroll. That's all I have to say about that. See anything good on YouTube? Hey, I'm still alive. Look at that. All right. That's cool. 2 hours. What am I on? Oh, it doesn't show my time. So XRP, we can check out that too, I guess, a little bit. In a second. Yeah, why not? That's on mute. And I see I'm blue again. Where's danger for XRP?
Despite record inflation, certain Americans prepare for another round of stimulus checks and homeowners relief. Crypto.com allows users to onboard with Apple Pay. And are the winds changing for the worse for XRP? My name is DZ. This is your Crypto Nightly News Wrap-Up. Let's get it.
The bottom line from my perspective is that California does not need any more stimulus.
Sacramento State Finance Professor Dr. Sanjay Varshney isn't impressed by another stimulus round.
It's a short-term band-aid that's going to result in very severe kind of a crisis down the road.
California Governor Gavin Newsom and California lawmakers are proposing a stimulus package to help consumers combat rising costs.
As states such as California, Pennsylvania, and Colorado are considering passing additional stimulus checks for their residents, as Maine and New Mexico have already pulled the trigger on sending relief to their residents. For the first rounds of checks this month, residents in Maine will receive $850, while residents in New Mexico will receive $250. While other states are also considering stimulus checks or tax rebates, homeowners in almost every state will be eligible for financial relief thanks to the Treasury Department's Homeowner Assistance Fund. The HAF was created to prevent mortgage delinquencies, defaults, foreclosures, and things of that nature. Since Joe Biden signed the America Rescue Plan Act, almost $10 billion has been put aside for homeowners, giving each state $50 million. To see if you're eligible for HAF, be sure to check ncsha.org. It does come as a surprise that the government continues to hand out printed dollars in these times of 40-year high inflation, but in the same breath, some Americans need all the help they can get since the cost of living has gone up substantially.
All right, guys, now let's do a little market watch here We've got Bitcoin coming in at $20,262. We've taken a little dip today, down about 2%. Ethereum coming in at 1142, down about 4% on the day. Let's go ahead and check our top gainers. USTC up 106% on the day, 406% on the week. We've got BTT up about 10%. 1inch up about 10%, Kava up about 3%, and Synthetics up about 3% on the day. Guys, we have been getting a little bit of a correction here. Right now, the markets are really hard to read. We've got bullish things popping up on the longer time frames, bearish things popping up on the lower time frames. The price action is super scammy, so be careful out there if you are trading, please. If you guys want to follow me, it's Frankie Candles on YouTube or Frankie_Candles on all socials. Back to the news.
Crypto.com is now allowing their users to onboard onto their website and mobile app in a few taps using Apple Pay. This decision to incorporate Apple Pay was a no-brainer for Crypto.com, given it makes it easier for customers to buy crypto and it ensures top-notch security. This feature is only available in the US and excludes New York and the other US territories. A bullish aspect of using this new feature is that if you use your Apple Card as your payment method, you'll receive 2% back in daily cash on your purchases. Ironically, as it becomes easier to purchase crypto by conventional means, buying conventional things with crypto took a small step back yesterday as the Bored Ape themed restaurant in LA announced that they will no longer be accepting crypto as a payment. Back in April, they were proud to fly the flag of being the first restaurant to accept ETH and Ape as payment, but given the drastic market volatility and the lack of customer enthusiasm to pay with those cryptos, it turns out using cash to buy food, it works just fine. These next two stories paint a bigger picture when you put them both together, and the insinuation is not a pretty sight. Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb has been offboarding XRP from his infamous taco stand wallet in a big way. According to a website that tracks his wallet's activity, he didn't sell any XRP at all from September 21 until the end of December 21. At the time, that was a bullish idea because it would make sense for him to wait for the price to go back up and sell more, right? To my surprise, once 2022 started, he started selling again and not in small increments. So far this year, during a bear market, he has sold over 500 million XRP. If he continues selling at this rate, CryptoGlobe.com reports that he's expected 23 to 27 days left before the account is empty. Does he know something we don't? He's not my favorite person in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but he's definitely not an idiot. So why would he sell his XRP before the next bull run? So while Jed is selling his XRP yesterday, Axios and Daily Hodl ran a story saying that Brad Garlinghouse said that Ripple will leave America if they were to lose the lawsuit against the SEC. Garlinghouse is obviously frustrated at the SEC's hypocrisy by suing XRP, but allowing the Coinbase IPO. But for them to close up shop and leave the US, it would be a massive blow to everyone except Gary Gensler. Since US exchanges don't offer XRP to their customers and most of Ripple's growth has happened outside of the States, Garlinghouse asked the rhetorical, if Ripple loses the case, does anything change? Seeing these two stories come out back to back like this is a bad look. And it seems like Jed and Brad knows something that happened behind the curtain that we don't. Hopefully the SEC doesn't overregulate the space before it gets its real chance to change the world. Because if the SEC wins the case, they can use it as a precedent and go after everyone. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. That's all I got. Be
Interesting. You know, there's still a lot of people I know that don't know anything about crypto and don't care. They obviously don't care about money. They must be very well off. Very well off. Or they're complacent. Complacency kills. So XRP, a lot of people, that's interesting. Ah, this is a good one.
The Fed's new gold and silver dealer that specializes in custom strategies. And I'm telling you, you've never needed one more because, wow, all those wage increases that we saw, that's what's causing all this inflation, my goodness. And so the Fed has come up and is now openly saying that they are going to fight inflation by weakening the labor market, because we should not have workers be able to demand more money because of the inflation. They're the ones that are creating it. The workers are the one. Oh, God. They're awful. How dare they demand more money in this rising economic inflationary period? But what does that do? It really spells a lot of pain. We've talked about this. We've talked about it. It is the public that suffers the most during these periods of time. And so they got a little bit of an edge, still not enough to keep pace with inflation. And boy, that just doesn't work very well. So running hot, the U.S. labor market recovered quickly from the pandemic, you know, those essential workers, etc. But here, this bottom one is number of job openings right here. So there are a lot of job openings, but look at what's happening here at the end. That's starting to decline. But as the labor market has been so tight, employees have been asking for more money. And we know it doesn't keep up with it. But they say, we don't seek to put people out of work. We never think too many people are working and fewer people need to have jobs. But we also think that you really cannot have the kind of labor market we have without price stability. Now, you and I might think that price stability means that the prices of goods and services remain the same. No. Price stability means that that the inflation is low enough that workers do not ask for a raise. They do not ask for more money. Now, I don't think that's true up at the top, but I love that they say, we don't seek to put people out of work. Nah, they don't seek to put people out of work. They just want to limit your income, not the prices that you have to pay. I mean, they want to limit that. They want that to move up just really slowly, but you can't ask for more money because you're the reason why we have all this inflation. We also think that you really cannot have the kind of labor market we have without price stability. And what he's really saying in here is that he wants unemployment to stay down, but he also wants wages to stay down. He doesn't want you to have that leverage to go in and ask for more money. There's a problem with that. There really is. So let's look at the gap between productivity and a typical worker's compensation. And you can see that that gap has really grown since we went into, let's see. Isn't this when we were transitioning into a pure debt-based system with the central banks in full control of inflation? So remember how I've always told you, and I mean it's documented, so this isn't my opinion, this is documented, that when they set the system, the fiat money system up to begin with, government-based, based on inflation and erosion of purchasing power, governments wanted to be able to tax you invisibly. So there's the inflation tax. But corporations wanted to pay workers less and less. But if you're used to $10, you're not going to accept $5. But if you can make that $10 spend like $5, well, then this is what you get. And you can see how as corporations were more productive, employees were compensated at that same level. I mean, they're almost right on top of each other and actually a little bit higher in the employee part. But once we went into this new financial system, so on the other side of this, when they take us into the new financial system, do you think that's really going to be better for workers? Because what they're really talking about is they need 5 years of growing to 5% unemployment to control and get us back to price stability, where workers don't feel like they can ask for more money. But where's all this excess productivity going? I'm going to show you that in a second, but in 2022, prices have increased more than twice as fast as wages. This means that real wages have declined at an even faster pace in 22 than in 2021. In fact, real wages are now lower than they were back in February 2020 prior to the pandemic, and I argue that while we have inflation at 40-year highs, we have real wages at 40-year lows. In 1971, an average wage was $9,500 and a family of 4 could live on 1 wage. Today, it's up there, but you need 2 wages, and even with that, you've got millennials that are making $250,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck. Something's wrong here. But inequality has returned to Gilded Age levels. In other words, going back to 1929. Here's where it was in 1977. This goes out to 2018, but my bet is it's a whole lot higher than that now because these are corporate profits. And this is 2022. They want workers' wages to be stable, but don't excessive corporate profits increase inflation? I'm thinking they do, as excessive CEO compensation at these corporations also increase those inflations. But that's not what the Fed is targeting. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's make sure that the workers' wages don't go up. Let the CEO wages go up. Make sure that those corporations are highly profitable. I mean, if you take a look at it, this is the shortest recession in history, right? 2020, because of all that massive amount of free money that they gave away. This is 2008, right? Corporate profits were plunging. Oh, no, no, we can't have that. So you can see every time we hit a recession, what really goes up? Corporate profits go up. That's why we have that income and wealth inequality. But somehow the prices that the corporations charge with these ginormous profits in there, no, they don't add to inflation. Neither did all the Fed's money printing. That didn't add to inflation. It's those workers asking for more money in a tight labor market. Let's loosen that labor market up a bit. Let's increase that unemployment. Let's have it run for a long enough period of time so that these workers get it out of their heads to ask for more money.
So.
See why I'm pissed off so much? I mean, please. And with all of this, shocker, consumer sentiment slumps to record low on rapid inflation. In fact, the sentiment in June tumbled to 50.02, the lowest in history. Short and long-term consumer inflation expectations climb. They don't care about reality. They care about your expectations of reality. Because if you expect inflation to go up, that's why you ask for more money. If they can keep it at that 2% level and, it's not that noticeable, you don't ask for more money, though your living standards decline. And what a shocker. U.S. May consumer prices rose 8.6% year over year. They only estimated them to grow at 8.3. They haven't got one of these things right, not one of them. Is that true? Or do they just not want you to know? I think they don't want you to know. So consumer confidence slumps as rapid inflation takes toll on finances. This is a record low. This is going all the way back to when this experiment started back in the 70s. We are now at a record low. That's not good for those corporate profits because consumers are being forced to make choices. And so discretionary choices, do I need that new blouse? Yeah, I need food on the table more than I need that new blouse. Maybe I can jury rig my washer, which really isn't even made to last very long anymore. They used to be made to last forever. But maybe I can't make that choice right now. And these are current conditions, so what they anticipate. This goes into those expectations, that perception management. We have to manage how you perceive so that you move forward in a way that we want you to move forward. Not based on reality, based upon your perception. If you don't hold it, you don't own it, and your perception is irrelevant in a court of law or in the real economy. Your perception is irrelevant. It's what the truth is. Because those rate hikes are already having a pretty significant impact. Soaring rates, right? So borrowing costs climbed in the biggest 1 week increase since 1987. Now, what does that impact? Well, let's take a look. Wall Street banks have raised the prime lending rate to match the Fed's hike. The prime lending rate is an index rate used for pricing all sorts of various short and medium term products. So what does that mean, short and intermediate term products? I mean, look at how much that's gone up. Well, this is all new debt contracts and all short term, so revolving debt. Let's take a look at those at credit cards, because quite honestly, what people have been doing to sustain a current standard of living in the face of all this rising interest rates is they've been using their credit cards again. And I actually should show you that right there, right? Revolving credit cards, when they got that huge windfall, they paid down a lot of their credit card debt, but it's even surpassed the levels of 2020 now, as people are making an attempt to maintain their standard of living and put food on the table and put gas in the car. Those necessities. And we aren't even talking about, I mean, if you own your own home, your mortgage, and you're in a fixed rate mortgage, that mortgage payment is fixed. But if you're renting or you're looking to buy something, yeah, that's all changed. As we see balances continue to rise and interest rates rise and the price of everything continues to rise, it is possible that more people are going to be unable to pay their bills. You think? So that means more defaults. And what does the Fed want to do in the face of all these increases? He wants to cap workers' income. Cap it. Boom. Okay. So what do you think that's going to do to the default rate? Unintended consequences or fully intended consequences? You choose which. I can't tell you. But what do you think is going to happen as, all these credit card balances are now subject to this massive spike in interest rates? Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to see a bunch of defaults. And with the sentiment thus, and the interest rates thus, consumer spending is running out of steam. Shocker! And the market isn't ready for it because of all those lofty, lofty valuations as the Fed pumped all that.
All right. So I hope you all have a good day. For those of you that tune in, stream on, just remember order out of chaos. There's always order out of chaos. So I hope you have a great day. Learn something, study something outside of the system, outside the box. Because the system is meant for one thing, to keep you in the echo chamber, to bring you further into it where there's no way out. The emotional frequency is one of those avenues that they use to trap you. And those that are operating at a lower frequency will continue to stay at that low frequency and be sucked into the succubus that is that matrix, that will bring along the people that hone them, and they'll bring their friends and their family and their other groups, other people they know, into that echo chamber, because they'll be holding, like the crabs in the bucket, those people to bring them down to their level. Rather than rising to the skies, we'll lower our expectations and lower ourselves to lower the standards of living, lower everything, lower the frequency. Everything will be painted black and you will like it. Just like the song goes, I want it painted black. Everything is painted black into the darkness. So, but there's always the higher frequencies. If you can go up the ladder, walk up the ladder. It's like walking up a hill. You just walk up the hill. Walk up the hill. Get that inertia going. Walking in a circle. It might sound crazy, but walking in a circle, it's like walking in a labyrinth. You just physically walk, or mentally walk, or just take and put a dot on the wall and stare at that dot. And let all this stuff go into the clouds. I was told you can also journal, write things down to get things out. Right now, the avenues of people, they just want to live stream it 5 seconds and off to the next soapbox, because everything is so in your face all at once. So take it from a donkey. Those are possible tools to help you at these levels. God bless.